What is good, everybody? This is your boy Casual T, and this is a casual conversation with.
Elon JD.
There we go. Album just dropped a
Yep,
couple weeks ago.
that's
This was
right.
the album release show.
It
How
was.
are you feeling? Your art is out in the world for everybody to experience.
I feel relieved. It's been a long time coming. I've been sitting on this music a long time, and it kind of felt like a ceiling that was just lifted off. I felt like I couldn't create anything else until I put something out.
Wow.
So once I put this out, it was like, oh, now I can start making music
Yeah.
and enjoying what it is to be an artist.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How do you think the reception for the album has gone, and how did you like the show tonight?
I was kind of overwhelmed with how much people enjoyed it. To be
Nice.
honest, like you put something out and you kind of don't know what to expect. You hope that people enjoy it and that they can connect with it. I'm I'm happy that people have enjoyed it, and I'm happy that it's connecting on some level. And I guess when you're just putting out something that is authentically you, you're always a little scared, but that's usually the stuff that people get connected to.
Yeah, but that's the thing about your music. It's like super vulnerable.
Yeah,
It's real. It's relatable. Sometimes it's a little like most artists wouldn't be saying some of the stuff that you're saying on it.
yeah.
Are the songs based off of like real experiences that you've had?
Yeah, man. I Yes.
You don't need to go into more detail. Or you
Yeah.
don't want to.
I always say that like everything comes from like a vulnerable place, and that I'm a big advocate for therapy, and I'm a big advocate for doing what you need to do to get your mind right. And I think that this music has been an avenue, but it wasn't the only avenue. So but it going to therapy, living through those experiences, I know I wasn't the only one in the world. So I
Yeah,
was like, I'll say something. Maybe somebody will be like, "That's me too,"
yeah,
and they'll be inspired to get some help.
yeah. But I mean,
Yeah,
kind of goes into my next thing is you start the album and end it with the same song.
yeah,
I've heard it a gazillion times because I've seen you live so many times that it's
yeah,
like you always have your part. What is the reason for starting it and ending it with the same song? Different version of the same song for the people who
yeah.
haven't heard it.
So the version that you hear later on in the album was actually my first release. It was my first single, and I always had the idea of like putting that as like the first song on the album. And then I just got inspired one day to do kind of like a solo version of it, and that's the like technical answer.
Mm-hmm.
The more like deep answer to that was that I wanted to kind of show that it can. I wanted to, in a weird way, I wanted to show that there was like growth, you
Yeah,
know, because I wrote that song so long ago, and I wanted just an updated version that kind of represented me now.
mm-hmm.
But I like them both, so I put them both on the
Okay.
album.
I
Yeah,
was thinking it was more like a happy version, like a sad
it
version,
is.
kind of from the titles
It
of it.
is. It
But I
is.
could
It
see that
definitely is.
too.
Yeah, and that is also that's you're right about that as well. Like it being, it's called "Better Days"
Yeah.
is the name of the song, and there's the sunrise version and the sunset version. And the sunset version is definitely supposed to more represent like nightlife, like high energy. Like this is when a lot of your thoughts are coming to you, and like you think about stuff that you might think you're crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
And the sunrise version is definitely more of like the eye opening, like here's a fresh day, here we go,
Yep.
so
Nice.
yeah, that was the better answer.
No, that's one of my favorite songs. Like I've been listening to that song
Yeah,
for the past few years,
yeah,
so
man,
it's cool that you put it on the album twice. You're also in a band. Speaking of which, I've seen him play.
yeah.
Jonathan Scales Fourchestra. Shout out
Shout
to
out
Scales.
Jonathan
Shout out
Scales.
to Mason.
Yeah,
How
Mason.
is it being in a band versus solo and doing this stuff now?
It's definitely a different hat to wear. I feel like that's the obvious point. There's like freedom in both. There's less pressure with being like a guy that's like in a band who's like a third. This is three piece, and being a third versus like being the front man has a little less pressure, but I get to like be a part of a whole. Whereas like everything with being the front guy, it's like everything is it's on you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So from the business side all the way to the creative side, like this is everything is me. And I'm lucky enough to play with guys like Rob Bowser on keys and Chazare Shank on drums, who like bring the vision to life. Um, for me, that's like a dream come true. in a lot of ways, that's what I always wanted to do.
Mhm.
And on the flip side, like I get to like experiment with really crazy stuff with Jonathan,
Yeah,
and like express a whole different side of what I enjoy about music.
yeah.
You know,
And it was
so
interesting seeing you because normally I'm used to seeing you stage
yeah, yeah, yeah,
left.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you're in
yeah,
the corner over there,
yeah,
and then you'll have
exactly.
your time to shine. But you're front and center today, so it was really cool.
Yeah,
And
man.
like you're just naked for the world to see in front of everybody. There.
I got on my dress.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm good.
Which actually, this is great.
Yeah.
Another question that I had: the
Yeah,
head
yeah,
wrap.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where does the style come from? Because you're
So
always wearing the Vans, you're always wearing like the
yeah,
togas or like the long.
it's like honestly, there's like a comfortability with this. I used to rock a lot of like um, toboggans and scully caps and baseball caps and everything. And I decided to start doing the rap kind of as like a homage to the women in my life
Mhm.
because my grandmother, who was like near and dear to me, always wore head wraps and she was big into her like African roots and
Yeah.
everything. And also like it's like you bring a piece of home with you
Mhm.
kind of
That's
thing. You know
cool.
what I mean? So when I go on the road, it's always just kind of like a reminder of why I'm out here. I'm not just out here for the glory of
Yeah.
playing music, but I'm also like representing my culture, representing where I come from and who I love.
Yeah, and carrying the family name and stuff.
Yeah,
It's also
man.
you. That's
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
fire. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I have my fro all the
That's
time.
it. That's
Every
it.
interview I've done so far, I have a hat on, but
Yeah,
But yeah, that's cool.
yeah,
That's
man.
what's up. Uh, you always say I'm the guy who's going around the world and stuff when we're talking on the side and
Yeah,
whatnot. But y'all be going to some crazy
yeah,
places like Kazakhstan and
yeah,
some random island in Italy that Scales didn't even know existed
yeah.
until they hit them up for the gigs.
Yeah, shout out to Sardinia. Yeah, there's some dope racetracks there, by the way.
Really,
Yeah,
that's tight.
yeah.
So that was like, what are your like favorite places that you've been that you've played either solo or with other people?
Traveling with Scales, we do a lot of like out of country stuff, and I think that Sardinia was a really cool place. Speaking of Italy and everything, but I gotta say, like the UK, like we were in like Scotland recently, and we were in London. We played Ronnie
They
Scott's.
showed you hella love in London. That
Man,
line for
we're
both
coming back.
nights. Was it like September? I
Yeah,
think
yep,
Seamless
yep,
plug, but they're gonna
yep.
be back in
We're coming.
London.
We'll be back in London. Um, yeah, as a guy who like I was born and raised Long Island, New York, and spent a lot of time in the city. My grandmother worked for the Long Island Railroad.
Oh, tight.
She worked in
Cool.
Penn Station. If you've been to Penn Station in like the past, 40 years, you definitely heard my grandmother's voice because she used to announce the trains
Cool.
and stuff
That's so cool.
at Penn Station. And so I say all that to say that like being from there and then going to London was like it was like, oh, this is like New York on the other side. You know what I mean? Like in a lot of ways. So it's really cool. I like the vibe. And then I like that I get to leave and go home too.
I love London. I'm trying to make my way there, but they're not too fond of us for obvious reasons. So it's like, but I'm trying to move. I love London.
Yeah, London
Like,
goes
I've
hard.
got a lot of homies out there. Shout out to the people out there. But London's so cool. Like,
yeah, man.
very cool city. Food could use a little bit of work, but it's getting where you fit in. Like there's neighborhoods that have good food.
I was gonna say,
But
yeah.
my first night out there, I had schnitzel, and I don't even like tartar sauce. So like that was a no go. So it was just like dry ass chicken.
You're not with the beans on the bread,
No,
bro.
I'm not
like
with that. I need more stuff on my fries. Like I'm not that big of a French fry guy to begin with. So I was like, my mom was like, you should put ketchup. I was like, that's not gonna cut it.
Yeah,
Like, that's not gonna cut it. But I don't think like I got some Jamaican food at one spot.
yeah.
This Thai
Honestly,
food joint that was crazy.
Yeah, honestly, the
so,
Caribbean food in UK goes hard.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of them out there.
There's a lot. Yeah, peri peri.
Yep.
Like all of that kind of stuff is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of like in a lot of ways, like New York. Like you go to New York, you go to the Caribbean spot, you go to the Chinese spot. You
got your local pizza joint that you go to before some influencer is gonna blow it up.
Exactly.
It's happened to two of my spots.
Yeah.
Sadly. I got a couple more.
Okay.
What is one thing you can't tour without? Like you need it all the time when you're touring. It could be obviously your
I was gonna say
guitar.
definitely need my I need that.
Yeah.
That I can't tour without. What do I always bring with me aside from that? A lot of underwear.
Yeah.
I have an egregious amount of underwear in my bag at all times. It's not like I have a problem or something.
I have a lot of underwear too.
But like, man, like we're moving so much all the time, and like I like a fresh shower.
It's one less thing to worry about.
It's one less thing to worry
like,
about. I'm not trying to do laundry on the road. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I've gone on trips before, and people were like, "Oh, like I got to get my laundry," and I'm like, when I'm on vacation or somewhere, I don't want to have to worry about doing laundry. Like, I'm not home. Like, but yeah, my dad. It was funny. He was like I was like, I'm washing clothes and stuff like that. And my dad was like, he was like, "Is this the first time you washed them since you like I've been there?" This was a few weeks ago, a couple months ago. And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "How many underwear do you have?" I was like, enough to last me like a month and a half. Like,
man, and if I don't have enough, I'll go and buy it. Like, I'm serious. Like, I'll be like 3 days in the tour, and I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and grab another pack real quick. You know, stop near the local spot and just like that makes me feel comfortable. Because, like, I don't want to have to think about that.
I've started getting some of the nicer brands, too, like trying those out. Normally, it used to be, like, TJ Maxx and Marshalls and stuff. But I've been getting those, like, $30, $40 pairs. I've been getting them on sale.
Yeah.
I don't got it like
First
that.
and foremost.
But I've been getting something that I'm like,
you got to treat yourself, especially in that area. You know what I'm saying? You can't lack there. You know what I'm saying? Have the Jordans on and then be rocking some, like, 10-year-old Fruit of the Looms. You know what I'm saying? Nah. You can't do that.
Yeah. So last question.
Yeah.
Anything else you have to say for the people? It could be either big or small. It could be inspirational. Brush your teeth. Eat your vitamins. Say your prayers. Brother, all the Hulk Hogan stuff. Even though don't not RIP to Hulk Hogan. He was a horrible person. Anyways.
I would just say to anybody that's like getting into music, be yourself sooner. Don't feel like you have to assimilate to the point that you lose who you are in what you're doing. It pays dividends to be okay with who you are. I think a lot of musicians and artists these days are always trying to find a way to become famous and find a way to become the next big thing, and they think they have to do a bunch of things. And I think the biggest thing is to be yourself and understand that the vulnerable person you are is going to connect with another person out there who needs to hear it.
All right, well said. Beautifully spoken, great message. Cannot agree more. That's it, y'all. Casualty, Elon JD, signing out.
Peace.
All right.